It's the Murphy's Law Podcast.
We are halfway through the halfway week of distance learning. I know you guys are just as excited as I am on this wonderful Wednesday. Let's get right into the agenda.
Agenda review.
We're having a pretty quick podcast today because I want you guys to jump right back into the reading. Chapter 10. Chapter 9 was... Oh, if you haven't read Chapter 9 yet, you guys got to go read Chapter 9. All right? Just have a box of tissues right there. Right there. So that you guys can make it through Chapter 9 okay. We're going to get through Chapter 10. But if you haven't read Chapter 9, don't look at the tutorial for this week's assignment for this debate task because there's a little bit of a spoiler in there, although you should probably know it's coming. But we're going to start our debate discussion today. You're going to have to choose a side on a statement and support that using information from the text. And then just make sure that your CommonLit assignment of the doctor from Newark, make sure you get that taken care of today as well and submit those responses. If on that fifth question you're able to connect it back to Ponyboy and Johnny and their situation, there might be a little bit of bonus points coming your way. Then finally, tomorrow morning at 10:30, if you want to jump into the Google Hangout, it is optional. It'll be linked to Google Classroom. You can jump in. And otherwise, we're finishing the book. Let's just finish the book, see where we're at. We're going to have this kind of debate discussion. And let's get into that. What is the debate going to be on?
Assignment awareness.
Once again, if you haven't read Chapter 9, just pause real quick, go read Chapter 9, come back, finish the podcast. What you're going to do, you're going to have to decide on yes or no. So you're picking a side here. And you're going to provide information to support your position. This is the statement that you are using. Now, to get more information, and I give an example in the tutorial that's linked to Google Classroom, so you can watch that tutorial to get an explanation. And I'll do one for both sides, so you can kind of see how it works. But you're only picking one side. You cannot sit on the fence. Although Dwight Schrute's got a pretty good tip for how to sit on a fence, but we're not going to sit on the fence. So you have to pick yes or no. All right, with 4 to 5 pieces of information to support. Now, it's important that you are specific in your explanation. Some people who have been responding to things like Melody Monday, where you were referencing the film clip, you were not specific. Let's look at some of those responses.
Responsorama.
Now, remember, I was asking you in the scene at the church where Ponyboy and Johnny are sitting there watching the sunset, and Ponyboy references the Frost poem, Nothing Gold Can Stay. And I asked you if it fit with what you pictured as you were reading. And Hudson shared and said that they were similar to what he was visualizing as he was reading. However, he thought there would be more mist, as the book does talk about the golden mist kind of on the grass and on the prairie as the sun is setting. And so he thought there would be more of that in the film. Peyton also chimed in and said that she already watched the movie. So it was exactly like she envisioned it, which I think to be cheating, but we won't get into that right now. Finally, so make sure in your responses, whenever you respond to anything, make sure you are being very specific in your responses. Provide details. You can never go wrong with providing more detail. Finally, let's jump into Word Out Wednesday.
Word Out Wednesday.
Word Out Wednesday, we're going into the emoji land. You are going to provide me with a text summary of something that stands out to you so far in the book. So but you're only going to use emojis. So you're going to provide me with information, a scene, something that stands out to you so far in the book, and then you're going to give me a sentence or two explanation of what you are, just in case I'm unable to decipher your emoji summary, you're going to give me a sentence or two that explains. So for instance here, and for those of you who don't know how to get emojis up on your screen, it's Command Control Spacebar. You can get your emojis, and then you can provide me with multiple emojis to explain your positioning or your story or your scene, and then you would offer an explanation. So this refers to what? So that's your Wednesday, Word Out Wednesday response. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. So let's see how many pictures it takes you to provide me with a scene from Outsiders. Otherwise, keep reading Chapter 10. Things are going to continue to develop here. Chapter 9, if you haven't read it, be ready and complete the questions for each chapter that are in Google Classroom. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow on the Google Hangout. Otherwise, that's it for this Wednesday. We'll catch you on the flippity flip.